Smackdown, one take, one shot. This is the review series where I do it immediately following the last episode of whatever I just watched. That way you get my raw, visceral reaction. I can't go to bed and be like, you know what, that wasn't so bad after all. Can't repurpose my ideas from any other YouTubers. You hear it right after the show. And what did I think? Okay, so it's gonna be weird. This is a weird concept, but if you go back last week, I hated last week, right? I gave it a 1. Absolutely hated the show. This week, I did not hate the show. And I'd probably give it a 5, right? But in the grand scheme of things, last week was a better show than this week. Okay, you're like, wait, what? I thought that show was a 1 and this show was a 5. Yes, here's the deal. One of the worst things that you can do in WWE is to come out with no reaction. They don't love you. They don't hate you. You get nothing. You can hear the crickets. A pin can drop and you can be like, oop, heard that. And yeah, no emotion is invoked. And that's kind of what this SmackDown was. It was a perfectly okay show, but I didn't like it. I didn't hate it. I didn't love it. I did nothing. There's nothing. Now, there were a couple of really cool parts, like Oba Femi. Ooh, he came out. That was a surprise. That was great and amazing. Like last week, though, that was the best part and most exciting part of the show. We'll talk more. We'll talk more about the show itself. But yes, at least last week, I felt something. I felt hatred. I wanted to strangle everything last week, but at least I felt something. You know what I mean? I did not really feel much in this SmackDown. So, ironically, hating a show can almost be better than not hating a show on some levels. I'm not excusing everything, and I'm not saying, oh, we should just completely produce garbage stuff now. No. You don't want either, to be honest with you. You don't want crappy written shows, and you don't want nothing shows. You just want above average to great shows. So I'm not advocating for bad shows. I hope you understood me. It's I don't know. It's kind of a weird concept, but yes, a 5 can be worse than a 1 because the 1 makes you feel something. Sometimes it can just be when you smear dog food on Roman Reigns, that's a bad one. But Gunther beating my hero, that was, I'm hesitant to say that was a good one, but at least I felt something. I felt some kind of way. With the Roman Reigns thing, it was more of a boredom. He, getting smeared with dog food, that was more like a boredom and a bad thing. That was so. Anyways, let's go with this number 5 SmackDown. So again, this was an okay SmackDown. Didn't hate it, didn't love it. If you want this to be on the background while you just scroll on Facebook or Facebook, I know, I'm old, yelling at clouds, on your social media machine, then go for it. SmackDown, this is a perfect SmackDown to not pay attention to, but have on in the background. Though I will say this, we do start off with Nick Aldis saying, Drew, I've been trying to call you. Come on in. Let's talk. And he tells Cody immediately after that that I think there's an injunction or he's trying to sue about an unsafe work environment because Cody attacked him last week. And Cody's like, what do you mean unsafe? And then he comes out and he does gaslight Drew McIntyre. He's like, you're not champion because you're just half in. That's really rich coming from Cody Rhodes. You're half in. We're talking about the guy who beat John Cena at SummerSlam and then took a month off to film a movie. Cody is half in. Drew is not. And Drew's the guy that showed up during the pandemic and carried the company on his back. So don't say he's half in. You want to say he's a crybaby. You want to say he's this, he's that. I can't even say he's a liar, but you can say a lot of things about Drew, but don't call into question his dedication. That's gaslighting. And then the best part of the show happened, though. Oba Femi came out. So Oba Femi and Cody Rhodes are having a match on tomorrow at John Cena's last show. And I'm very afraid they're going to let Oba Femi lose. I'm hoping Drew McIntyre attacks and Oba gets the victory somehow, some way. I don't even care if they do the dusty finish where Oba gets the victory, but then it's reversed and nobody wins. Honestly, that'd be fine. That's the Dusty finish. They used to do it all the time in the old NWA territories because you couldn't let two champions. They were both too big to lose. So you kind of like cheat your way out by letting one get the pin, but then the decision's reversed and nobody wins. And it would be appropriate because Dusty Rhodes is, well, if you didn't know this, he's Cody Rhodes' dad. Anyways. Oba punked out Cody. Oba totally punked out Cody to the point where one time Cody was going to walk away and Oba grabbed his arm. I loved it. Oba just looked the part. The dude's a beast. They started rattling off his stats. He's 6'6", over 300 pounds. He has charisma. He has presence. He wasn't backing down from Cody. Cody backed down from him. And I was really into this. I wish they would have gone to blows, but I do understand they're both baby faces here. So fine, whatever. Could have been better. They both did raise their belt above their heads, which is lame. Please, Oba, don't do that. Everybody does it. Don't do that, Oba. I don't know why that. Oh my God, they're raising the belt above their head. This is getting intense. But it was really cool. And the crowd was definitely cheering for Oba. They were doing the ooh, Oba and everything. So the crowd knows. The crowd last night knew, even though he is from NXT, they knew Oba and good stuff there. And Cody walks away from Oba Femi. He got punked. And then we go to Tommaso Ciampa and Dragunov. They finally had their match. Before the match, the Fraxium was like, hey, if Johnny Gargano comes out, we'll come and help you. And Ilya, I don't think he understood because Ilya was like, no, I can't, for the respect of the US Championship. Nobody will come out and help me. They weren't saying we're going to come out and help you win the match. They were saying we won't let anyone interfere so the match can remain like just let the best man win. But Ilya was like, come out, Symphony of Pain. And then he went out. I'm going to say, for whatever reason, this was my favorite match of the U.S. Championship Ilya's U.S. Open Challenge so far. I really liked this match. It was really good. It was hard hitting. You get, like, at one point he's bleeding. Something happened and there's blood all over his face. It made him look good. He should have wiped it and then kind of made it like war paint. I think that would have been better, but obviously it was unplanned, so he just went with it, though. He didn't quit. He just kept going. The match was really great. I didn't really pay attention to the first half, but eventually it forced me to watch it. Loved this match. I do recommend it. After this, the show kind of falls apart, but honestly, at this point, we're at we're at 50 minutes into the show, so it's almost half hour. And then they also did reveal that SmackDown is going back to 3 hours, which is like, no, don't do that. Which is like, oh, hate that. I do not want 3 hours. I know some of you do want 3 hours, and it's okay to have that opinion. It's straight up okay to have a different opinion than me. But I know some people think it's because they're going to spotlight more stars, and I don't believe they will. If I recall correctly, when we had 3 hours last time, Carmelo Hayes, Andrade, Santo Escobar, a lot of people were still not being featured. They just made matches longer. So I am definitely not happy about a 3-hour SmackDown. That said, nothing I can do about it, so suck it up and deal with it, Chop. Alrighty, what else did happen? We do have Rhea Ripley. She's there for the main event tonight, which we will talk about. She does go up to Charlotte and Alexa, and I wish there was just heat. All they do now is just they walk up to each other and say, I'm gonna beat you, right? And then the other person, whoever it is, good, bad, both faces, both heels, the other person's like, no, you're not. And then this happened even again later when Rhea's there, and then Lash Legend and Nia come up to her, and they're like, we're gonna beat you, right? And then Rhea's like, no, you're not. But there was a cool moment with Jade and Rhea. They had a stare down. So now Jade has stared down Jade has stared down Rhea, and Jade has stared down Charlotte. So hopefully we get to one of those programs soon, because Jade Cargill and her programs, while I did enjoy her tonight, it's like she needs to move out of the lower mid card, because she is the top dog on the show. But she did look good. She came in. I'm really hot right now. I'm really hoping that the camera doesn't cut out. If it does, I apologize, and I will, whatever, we'll keep going. But yeah, it's Texas. I can be cold one day and then hot the next. Jade, she's fighting Meacham. She attacks Meacham beforehand. The match beat her up when Meacham is cutting a promo. You know how they cut a promo on the walk to the ring? She beats her up before. Jade's in like high heels and leather clothes. She's not even dressed. And so they're like, she wasn't even going to wrestle, which is kind of funny. Then Meacham does come out, hit her with a kendo stick a couple times, but then Jade eventually gets the upper hand, destroys her. I really like Jade as a heel and a villain, and this confident, just, I don't care about nothing. And she did say, I need some competition. However, we need to give her competition. Okay, she ran through all the undercard. Okay, so now it's time to give her some main event people. All right, she's going to have a really, really bad championship run, and then people are going to be like, see, we told you Jay couldn't handle it. It's not that Jay can't handle it. It's just her title reign is weak because she's getting weak opponents. Give her some strong people. But I did enjoy her tonight. I will say that. So good job there. What happened? And Lash Legend. Woo, Lash Legend had a really good showing. She had a really good showing tonight against Alexa Bliss, and she beat her clean, and she actually took out Charlotte Flair in the process. So awesome, amazing stuff there. That was the right winner. I know Alexa Bliss is a legend, but she is, no pun intended, Lash Legend, but she is in a tag team right now, and Lash is new to the roster. So I do feel that Lash needed this way, way more. But if you are an Alexa Bliss fan, I could understand why you're like, why are we doing this to Alexa Bliss? Because they haven't really booked her that strong as a singles competitor, as a former women's champion. People forget, a lot of people have forgotten that Alexa Bliss was like the odd woman out of the four horsewomen, but she was making a name for herself like completely on her own, and I feel she did in the late 2010s and stuff. And it's like, I do wish they would utilize her more. But tonight, Lash was the right call. I really enjoyed Lash Legend tonight. She's a lot of ring presence. She talks smack throughout. She just gets it. You can tell when a wrestler just gets it, and she does. So Lash won. That was good stuff. Javon Evans fought The Miz. The Miz is not happy about not being part of the John Cena night, and so Javon Evans called him Unk, which was kind of funny. So Unk The Miz. If you guys want to call me Unk, you'll all be my nephews. But that was a decent match. Kind of wish we weren't jobbing out The Miz, unless if this match would have happened on Saturday night's main event, that would have been perfect. But because it was just a random Smackdown, I do wish The Miz could get some victories. I don't mind Javon Evans, because I said, well, Lash needed the win, right? So Javon needed the win. That's fine. But The Miz is not in a tag team right now. And I kind of wish he was fighting Carmelo Hayes. So I wish the Javon could have beat somebody else. I don't know who, though, because I don't think there are that many jobbers that are bad guys right now. They could have done El Gato del Fantasma, those guys, but I don't know. It's not the worst critique. The Miz versus Javon Evans was a good match, though. It was fine. I wish it was someone else, but I don't hate that it was The Miz. The Miz just showing more that he's a utility player, and Javon is just like, he's just fun to watch. He's fun to watch. Definitely has that, like, oh man, who does he remind me of? Like the groundswell of support. People just gravitate towards him. Like maybe like Rey Mysterio in his early career, or Sami Zayn in his early career. I don't know. Just kind of like this underdog guy that doesn't necessarily, he's not, yeah, I don't know. Just he's fun to watch, and you just like the guy. Oh, I forgot. During the Tommaso Ciampa Dragunov, did I say who won? Dragunov won, right? He did win, and Johnny Gargano did come out. But Carmelo Hayes will actually come to his aid. So Carmelo Hayes looks like looks like the end game is for Carmelo to have one more match with Dragunov, which will be cool, and I hope that Carmelo Hayes does eventually finally get the U.S. title. And then I hope they stop the open challenge. It's nice, it's kind of cool, but too much of a good thing. I mean, and I would just like to be a little less right now. Then we do. I did that thing where I destroyed my thing. I can't see it anymore. I could maybe see it over here. Let me see if I can see it over here. Only other thing I think that happened was the main event, which was a mixed tag. Rhea did say respect at 7:56. There's something that was kind of lame and boring. So the Wyatts, they come out. The Wyatt Six come out. And last week, Solo Sikoa literally invoked the name of his deceased brother, Bray Wyatt. Like, he said, you're not even worthy of the Wyatt name. So I guess he didn't actually say Bray, but, it was heavily implied. And he said Bo Leave, which is probably a gimmick that Uncle Howdy Bo Dallas in character would not want to remember. It's when Bo Dallas was like a, some motivational guy. I really liked it, but whatever. Bo really needed to have an awesome promo here, and the promo was just kind of like bland. It was just kind of there. And for the Wyatts to have fallen so far, it's like this was a moment. This was a moment for them to really showcase their creative craziness, but I didn't get that. I definitely got a mid-card act right here, and it sucks because I wanted the Wyatts to really be something, but I'm not seeing it. And tonight was their opportunity. They knew they were going to have a spotlight. They looked cool. They put the chair in the middle of the ring. Bo sat in it. He was surrounded by his guys and gals, and it was just so much nothing. He was like, Solo, you're fake, and we got the titles. Come and get it. You don't run nothing. And it's like, it just needed to be better. Bo Dallas, I don't care. He should have, if he knew he was going to get 4 minutes of TV time, he should have went and hired someone to give him a speech, because that was, again, it was nothing, not memorable. And it's not going to work. Not going to work for someone like the Wyatts. Now, Solo did interrupt, and Solo, he did that thing where he interrupts, and he's like in his like little room, and everybody's like behind him. And yeah, it's like, feels like this feud should be hotter than it really is, but we didn't get it. But okay, so then we move on. After that, it's pretty much the Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest versus Aleister Black and Zelina Vega. So there was one botch that was super scary. I don't want to just be like, oh, they made a botch, this sucks, they can't wrestle, but holy crap. Like, this could have killed someone. They have a botch that could have killed someone. Just, like, you could probably YouTube it. Like, I for real thought, like, this was a paralyzing, could have died type of botch, and it was, like, very scary. It took me out of the last 4 minutes of the match because I was legit scared that they were running on adrenaline and nothing. And maybe that's because I'm a dad or I'm old, but, like, I care about the health and well-being, and, like, I was just scared the whole time that someone was legit injured. And you never know. Adrenaline was running so high. Maybe they are, but let's just pretend that it didn't happen. It's like crazy. Like, I feel like Zelina and Black should have won because they're the ones that are going to be together, because Rhea's going to go back to Raw, but I understand why Rhea and Damian won, because maybe Damian can now say, hey, I won, and he can leave this feud, even though he lost to Black on a one-on-one. And it's Rhea Ripley. Like, I understand why you got to give Rhea W's. It's just weird that we got the established people over here that took the L. That said, they took the L. It was like, I don't know. It was just there. I think the first half of SmackDown was better than the last. By the time we got to the last, I was just kind of like, all right. It was definitely a filler show. Nothing special, nothing crazy. We probably should have just got more John Cena footage throughout this show because tomorrow's his last night. I don't know. It was, like I said, it was a 5. I feel nothing towards this show. There are some things I agree with, some things I don't, and a couple things that I really liked. But at the end of the day, I could totally skip this SmackDown and it would not matter. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I yawned 4 times. I'm not yawning as much as I used to. I think it's because I lost weight. honestly. Like, I was trying to figure out what has changed, and nothing has. I probably was just fat. Like, really, I've lost 40 pounds in like 3 or 4 months. Not Ozempic. I just have actually been watching what I eat and walking. Walking is the trick. And like, I think I was just fat. I only yawned 4 times. All right, boys. All right, girls. Thank you so much. I like, low energy and stuff. And I like I sleep better now too, because I just like, I don't know. I just have energy now. Sorry, I'm not body shaming anybody. Please, believe me. I'm not laughing at anybody. I'm not doing anything like that. All right. So I'm just telling you why don't I yawn as much as I used to? I legit think I just have more energy because I lost like 30 to 40 pounds. So, anyways, let me shut up now before everyone unsubscribes. See you, bye.